Welcome to Artificial Intelligence, from AI to Z. I am not a robot. I am not a robot. But I am Susan Danish, and in my regular life, I'm the CEO of the Association of Junior Leagues International. It's a 118-year-old organization of 140,000 women volunteers in 291 communities and in 4 countries: Canada, Mexico, the United Kingdom, and the United States. We empower women to be civic leaders who create community impact. But right now, however, I'm your guide for the next few minutes to the world of artificial intelligence. I am not a technology guru, or even an early adopter of new technology. I didn't race out to purchase an Amazon Echo, for example. So if you're a technology guru, this is not the session for you. But if you're like many of us who understand that technology is the game changer for everything these days, and you don't want to be left out of the conversation, then I hope this session will be useful. It will provide an overview of artificial intelligence, share examples of how AI is currently being applied in the nonprofit sector, and provide some ideas about how to get started incorporating AI into your own nonprofit. What do you think of when you hear the term artificial intelligence? When I hear the words, visions of C-3PO from Star Wars, and Rosie the robot maid in the Jetsons, or, for all of us today, I think of Netflix and their series Black Mirror and the HBO series Westworld. Artificial intelligence became real for me in 2011 when Watson, the name for IBM's artificial intelligence technology suite, won Jeopardy over 2 human champions. But what exactly is AI? It's probably one of the least understood technologies. You can't see it or touch it, but most of us are probably relying on technology that uses AI, or as some say, pseudo-AI, every day without even thinking about it. When you ask Siri a question, or Alexa, when we think about Tesla's self-driving cars, or if you get a daily email like I do from Netflix with suggestions just for me, or Pandora, which gives you a personalized music experience that continually evolves with your tastes, or if you have a Nest learning thermostat in your home, it learns what temperatures you like and builds its schedule around yours. Microsoft has this definition of artificial intelligence. AI is technology that can perceive, learn, and reason to enhance the capabilities of people and their organizations. There are plenty of other definitions, many much more technical, but I like this human definition. And it's so interesting to me that AI has become a big topic in the nonprofit sector, and that's really accelerated in the past couple of years. Now, my organization, and I'm sure yours, is constantly using technology to improve what we do. Moving all of our data to the cloud, automating almost all the routine things that staff members do behind the scenes, like using Expensify for online expense reports, or People Goal for online performance appraisal, adding a learning management system to our online learning platform, and we're creating a member journey for our volunteers that will allow them to develop their personal path towards civic leadership and provide them with what they need to succeed on that path before they even know they need it. The nonprofit sector, well, most nonprofits, certainly lag behind for-profit organizations. But as AI increasingly impacts our everyday lives, it makes perfect sense that we're looking at ways that can improve what we do in our own organizations. AI is not new. It's been around for decades, some say even longer. But 3 recent technological advances have accelerated progress on AI. Microsoft has identified these as data. Many organizations have more data than ever and more than they can effectively use, and AI requires lots and lots of data. I know we have lots and lots of data, and it's a big frustration that we don't have time to really use it as much as we could. Next is the cloud. AI requires the ability to process huge amounts of data, and the cloud provides the storage capacity and processing capability, more than any amount of storage on a PC. And finally, breakthroughs in algorithms, step-by-step processes, creating the capability for sophisticated speech and object recognition, for example. AI can interpret meaning from all kinds of data, text, images, video, and voice in real time. There are many ways that AI can and does positively impact the nonprofit sector. 3 that I'm going to spend some time on are fund development, operating efficiencies, and greater impact and mission delivery. Let's start with fund development. The practical applications of AI and fundraising are really exciting. And I'm going to use examples of some tech companies that are doing things with nonprofits right now. As I do that, let me first say that I don't have direct experience with all of them, and I'm not endorsing these specific companies. They're just going to be used as examples. So I see at least 3 ways that AI can improve fund development. It can provide better donor information, a better donor experience, which increases retention and results in increased giving, and a more effective development team. Using AI, you can create more complete donor profiles, pulling disparate data together, and even external data, including things like social media use or census data, to get a more complete picture of each donor. With that data, AI can use its predictive capabilities to identify issues or programs or services that resonate with donors. And the data can also be used to determine how much a donor may be willing to give and what times of year that donor is more likely to give. Better information leads to a better donor experience. With better information, we can create more personalized and ongoing relationships with donors. If your organization is like mine, we generate a lot of content for our website and for social media and so forth. Through AI, we can select the articles or posts that would be most interesting to each donor and easily create customized communications with no human interaction involved. We can literally chart a donor journey for the lifetime of that donor. Now, I'm sure we all have donors who give $5 or $10 through a swipe of their phone, and then we have donors who give a lot more. It's impossible to develop real-time personal relationships with low-level donors, but those donors are important too. Through more customized AI-driven communication, relationships can be deepened with all donors. And then simple questions can be addressed online through chatbots. When is the big fundraising gala? Are you a 501c3? Where is your annual report or your Form 990? And I'm going to talk about chatbots a little bit more later. In addition, through AI, we also have the potential to use the data that we collect about our programs to create more compelling information about our outcomes and our impact. That data is important to be able to share with donors and funders. They want to know that their financial contributions are making a difference. Finally, all of this means that fund development professionals can be more effective. There are fears that AI will replace people. If there are employees whose jobs are solely focused on mundane and repetitive tasks, that may be the case. But it's just as likely that better and more complete and usable information will lead to nonprofits being able to cultivate even more donors, and that will take more people, because AI cannot meet face-to-face with people. Here are a couple of examples of specific AI applications with nonprofits and their fundraising efforts. First, the Cure Alzheimer's Fund. They worked with a company called Gravity. In 2017, the Chronicle of Philanthropy selected Gravity as the first among 15 new fundraising ideas that worked, for the role their artificial intelligence technology played in helping increase major donor retention for the Cure Alzheimer's Fund. The fund increased its fundraising by 49%, or nearly $2 million in the first year they used Gravity's applications. Gravity draws on the power of AI to make data-based predictions about the giving potential of donors, and even helps automatically write first drafts of personalized outreach emails. This screen has an example of one of those emails. Another quick example is the Arkansas Educational Television Network, which uses the Exact Ask platform. Based on AETN's donor data, Exact Ask generates a series of 3 personalized gift amounts. The average gift from donors who received the letters with the personalized amounts was $5 to $10 higher than the donations from a control group where the ask was based on past contributions. And again, the Chronicle of Philanthropy ran an excellent article just last March about what the future might hold for AI and fundraising. Now let's move on to AI and operating efficiencies. In talking about fundraising, you could see that it provides operating efficiencies, but what are some others? AI can streamline routine administrative tasks, both internally and externally. Internally, there are AI applications that can update spreadsheets, create reports, and research data, for example. Externally, bots can be used as first-line contact points for your organization, handling questions, scheduling appointments or meetings. Imagine a bot answering questions that you are asked all the time, even though the answers are on the FAQ page of your website. In addition, bots could do intake for new clients or patients, sign up new members or volunteers, arrange meetings, and even order lunch. Here's an example of technology that addresses administrative tasks. What if every employee had an automated assistant? Research from Zoom AI tells us that employees spend only 39% of their time on meaningful role-specific tasks. Imagine gaining back only a few hours each week, how much more productive each person could be. AI can streamline workflow. Its ability to handle large amounts of data quickly is a real advantage. And here's a great example that streamlines visual data. iNaturalist is an organization that shares observations of biodiversity around the globe. People capture pictures and upload them onto iNaturalist. iNaturalist uses AI to identify hundreds of thousands of species that were crowdsourced by their community of scientists. they believe it would take decades to review and sort that many images manually. And with AI, it's just a matter of minutes. iNaturalist works with Visipedia, short for Visual Encyclopedia, which is a network of people and software that is designed to harvest and organize visual information. I mean, think about what a chore it is to even go through the photos from your largest fundraising event to find just the right photos. Imagine automating that search based on the attributes you prescribe. There also appear to be many applications for AI in human resource work. AI can help ensure that screening is more objective. There's less a chance for human bias. And given that much of this conference is about equity, imagine a much less biased interview process. Bots again can be used as part of an onboarding process and can answer newbie questions. Textio is a company that creates better job descriptions, among other things. Better descriptions generate more qualified applicants, and one user of this technology reported 25% more qualified applicants from the very beginning of putting out a job description for a search. And you know, not everything has to be ponderous and serious. Bots can be automated to help with company culture. Here's a birthday bot that automatically sends employees birthday greetings. I have no memory for employee anniversaries with the company or birthdays. So we post a sign at our front desk that recognizes these milestones every month. But I can see that this bot is much more fun. And finally, let's talk about how AI can create greater impact, greater accomplishment of our missions. New capabilities can mean effective new nonprofits or business models. AI can further strengthen the impact of iconic organizations. It can create new solutions or services and can bring your mission to life. The Crisis Text Line is an example of a newer nonprofit leveraging technology. It was the first text message-based national crisis hotline. Crisis Text Line grew out of DoSomething.org, the largest organization for young people and social change. Dozens of DoSomething.org volunteers were texting in to ask for personal help, and the CEO came up with the idea for the Crisis Text Line. Within 4 months, Crisis Text Line was being used in all 295 area codes in the U.S. And so in 2015, Crisis Text Line spun out into a separate entity. CTL's algorithms monitor conversations, providing real-time analysis to help the human counselors assess which conversations are truly most critical, which are crises. CTL was a pioneer in mission-driven, human-centered artificial intelligence. The American Red Cross has used AI in a number of ways. They've worked with Uptake.org in Chicago to provide intelligence about the availability and operational status of their emergency response vehicles. The Red Cross has also used a Facebook platform to provide disaster relief teams with valuable information, where to dedicate resources and where the evacuation routes are. I love this example from the Australian Red Cross. They use AI to coordinate their 1.3 million donations of blood from 75 centers annually. And in fact, they are so committed to technology, there is literally a section on their website about how they're using blockchain, artificial intelligence, and robotics. And this is a picture of that section. Amnesty International has a machine learning crowdsourcing tool that spots online abuse immediately to identify and eliminate sexist tweets. AI partnered with Element AI to release a Troll Patrol report on the online abuse against women on Twitter. The data showed that every 30 seconds, an abusive tweet is sent. Information now is used to address policy and processes of online and social media providers. Since 2006, Charity Water has been working to provide clean and safe drinking water to people in developing countries. Undertake.org has provided AI technology to help Charity Water understand when their water sources are in jeopardy, when they're drying up. And Charity Water has a bot named Yeshi who takes you through the virtual experience of walking for hours back and forth every day to gather water. She involves people in the mission of the organization and responds to trigger words to create an end-to-end human experience without human assistance. There are many and varied examples of how AI can be applied to the nonprofit sector. We are a diverse sector, and AI solutions are diverse as well. But there are risks. While this webinar has been about the possibilities, there are also concerns about the impact of AI, and those concerns go beyond worries about people losing jobs. On that topic, opinions are mixed. Pew Research Center conducted a large research study on this specific topic, and 48% of respondents thought that many jobs would be lost by 2025. 52% believed that humans would adapt and create new jobs and markets, and I tend to err on the side of the 52%. Risks also include algorithms tainted by bias and unforeseen algorithms deciding who gets services, particularly against underserved and underrepresented populations. Algorithms are created by humans, and bias could be built in. Social service organizations could be tempted to turn tough decisions over to an algorithm, and so we'll need to consider which tasks are appropriate for computers and which still need human decision-making. The buzz about AI encourages more people to become involved in the field, and not necessarily all of them are going to have the requisite skills. Not every new AI startup is going to be a good startup. And sector-wide, there are issues such as the global governance of artificial intelligence. Right now, there are no global criteria. And right now, there's a big investment in AI. So there are coalitions of for-profit and nonprofit organizations that have come together to formulate best practices and provide an open platform for engagement about AI. There are more than 80 for-profit, nonprofit, academic, and research organizations in partnership on AI, for example. And there are single-focus organizations, such as the Algorithmic Justice League, which aims to remove human bias from AI algorithms. For most of us, there is a lot to consider and a lot to learn. So how could you get started to build AI into the work you're doing? If all of it sounds intimidating, start with the basics. Getting better nonprofit reporting, analytics, and getting all of your data in one place, and make sure that data is as good as it can be. Because again, AI can't tell if your data is good or bad. It just sees lots of data. Be goal-oriented. If you're at a nonprofit, consider how artificial intelligence can help your organization's mission. And try to identify one thing, just one thing, that you think your mission might be better accomplished through artificial intelligence. One thing that might make a difference. And definitely think about people. AI is not about the algorithms. It's about the people, or the animals, or the plants that your organization serves, and the people that work in your organization. In this way, you can make intelligent impact. And certainly, and this is very tactical, think about fundraising, because as I said initially, there are a lot of applications available right now to help you in your fundraising work. I encourage you to stay in a learning mode. There are so many webinars on the topic of AI, so much information about nonprofit applications available from the biggies, like IBM, Microsoft, and Salesforce. And there are opportunities for pro bono help, too. So in this session, we've shared an overview of artificial intelligence, shared examples of how AI is currently being applied or could be in the nonprofit sector, and very briefly provided some ideas about how to get started incorporating AI into your own nonprofit. I'm going to close with some wise words from the director of the MIT Initiative on the Digital Economy. And let me just say, I know this slide has a lot of text on it. But this is what he said. AI and related technologies have already achieved superhuman performance in many areas, and there is little doubt that their capabilities will improve, probably very significantly by 2030. I think it more likely than not that we will use this power to make the world a better place. That said, AI can also be used to increasingly concentrate wealth and power, leaving people behind. Neither outcome is inevitable, so the right question is not what will happen, but what will we choose to do? And with that, let me say, thank you very much. Thank you and goodbye.